3 programs the Pentagon prayed you would never find. In the basement of the Pentagon, there is a room without windows. No maps. No weapons. Just filing cabinets. Thousands of pages, stamped declassified, partially redacted. For 50 years, these programs were a rumor. Something you whispered about at parties. But then the files came out. And America stopped laughing. Program 1. The Psychic Spies. 1972, the Cold War is freezing over. Spy satellites can see missiles, but they cannot see inside a general's head. And the Soviets? Rumors said they already had psychics on their payroll. So the Pentagon had no choice. They had to catch up. They recruited men who claimed they could see the future. The official name, Project Stargate. You might remember the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney. That movie was a joke. This was real. They called them remote viewers. Soldiers with psychic training. Their job? To sit in a dark room, close their eyes, and describe Soviet bases 10,000 miles away. One of them, Joe McMonigal, drew a picture of a massive Soviet submarine. He described a crane that looked like a spider. A year later, a satellite confirmed it. The crane was real. The submarine was real. The Pentagon doesn't know if it was luck. Or something else. The program closed in 1995. But they kept trying for 23 years. You don't spend 23 years on something that doesn't work. Program 2. The CIA's Brothel. San Francisco. The 1950s. A building with no sign. Inside it looked like a luxury apartment. Music. Drinks. Soft lights. Men paid for a good time. What they didn't know is that they were also paying for science. Behind the mirrors sat CIA agents. Drinking martinis. Taking notes. Watching everything. The official name, Operation Midnight Climax. The CIA rented the entire building. They hired prostitutes. And every client was secretly drugged with LSD. Powerful. Illegal. Sometimes deadly. This was part of something much bigger. MKUltra. The name every American conspiracy fan knows. A decade-long program to control the human mind. They poisoned their own citizens just to see what would happen. The victims never knew. They woke up in strange places. Hallucinations. Memory loss. Some went insane. The CIA called it research. The rest of us call it state-sponsored horror. When the truth came out in 1975, no one went to jail. The agents were promoted. The doctors retired with full pensions. And the victims? They are still waiting for an apology. Program 3. The Children's Bones. This is the darkest one. The one that made me stop for a moment. Just to breathe. The 1950s. Atomic testing in Nevada. The government knew radiation was dangerous. But they didn't know exactly how dangerous. So they needed to measure it. They started collecting bodies. Not soldiers. Not volunteers. Children. They called it Project Sunshine. But the real name should have been radioactive babies. Hospitals and morgues were told to send the remains of deceased children to government labs. Without telling the parents. Without asking for permission. A child died of pneumonia. The body disappeared. A child drowned in a lake. The bones were measured for radioactive strontium-90. Parents were told their babies were cremated. Instead, their organs were cut open in secret. The goal? To find out how much radiation would kill an American. The answer came later. 80% of all American children had already absorbed dangerous levels. And their own government knew it. And did nothing. When the documents were declassified in the 1990s, one phrase appeared over and over. Consent not obtained. 3 words. A polite way of saying you were lied to. A polite way of saying your children were used as tools of war. The Echo. 3 programs. 1 government. No justice. The psychic spies. The CIA's brothel. The stolen bones of the innocent. They hoped you would never connect the dots. They hoped time would bury the truth. But here is the real question. The one that should keep you awake tonight. What are they doing right now that we won't find out for another 50 years?